Welcome back to BSing with Y Eagle Y, and as you can see, I have a couple guests and returning guests, DuhZeez and Dave. So, uh, I know a lot of y'all have watched the media here recently. There's a lot of talk about this Black Hawk and plane crash. Um, I'm going to show a video, first out the gate, and then we're going to talk a little about it. Catch everybody's opinion on it. And let's see what. There's no volume, but as you can see it right here. There's the helicopter. I don't know why it keeps trying to do that, but let's do it one more time. See if I can get it. Alright, so there's the helicopter, the plane. That plane is coming in for a landing. They said it was like, what, 200 yards from
Yeah, something
the
like
runway?
200, 400 yards, yeah. Like 1,200 feet or 2,000 feet or something like that up.
Was that a commercial airplane?
Yeah, American Eagle, which is an American Airlines, like, what do you want to call it?
Was it 747?
Regional. It's like a regional airport. Like, that's their regional aircraft.
64 people, I believe.
Yeah, 60
Just
passengers.
3 on the Black Hawk.
4 crew, and then 3 on the Black Hawk. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what do you think? There's a lot of. No, that's a smaller plane.
It was a smaller jet than.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation out there, a lot of theories. I've even read there was a billionaire, and his name is Bill Ackman. All right. He went as far as saying, let's see. He said the collision sounds more like terrorism than an accident. So there's a lot of speculation out there. And I know that, when Black Hawk, especially at night, if a crew's running an ops, they have a set heading that they're going to use, and they're going to stay on that set heading. They're going to have night vision. If they're so low, below a certain level, I think the ATC or the radar doesn't work. Like if you were higher,
correct.
I may be wrong.
I'm pretty sure they were still on ATC's radar. Like, there is the video of, you can see, I forgot what it's called, like PAC 25 or 35. You can see them moving on their little radar screen.
Yeah.
But that's also, I mean, they probably had a transponder in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's an airport. I think you have a wider vision cone, don't you? Like than if it was like over trees or buildings and stuff.
yeah. I would say that the hardest thing I think people need to understand is, like, no matter what, dude, flying around at night in a helicopter, all of the little street lights and all that, I know you're in the air and you have, like, a position of, like, elevation. There's still so much light, just light litter going on. It's hard to see it, and everything in aircraft is happening fast. You're flying hundreds of miles an hour. I don't know exactly the Black Hawk speed, but you're fast, and the airplane's coming in pretty fast. Things happen quickly, and I just think that maybe they got lost in the sauce.
There's a lot of lights over there in DC. I've landed there.
Especially if they got NVGs on. I mean, could you imagine the blind you have
brightness,
from that?
yeah.
Oh my god. I mean,
Everyone's quick to point fingers now, though, especially.
DuhZeez, do me a favor. Turn up your mic just a hair.
Oh, sorry. I think it's just not close enough. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, I'll just get closer to it. It's actually not showing up on the thing as loud as it should be.
no, you sound better now.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to peek it out.
Yeah, you sound like you were way far away, on your own little plane.
I'm on my own Black Hawk.
No, I agree. There's a lot of finger point, like I kind of was saying, like everyone now has become like a air traffic control specialist. They don't understand the complexities of flying in general, let alone at night, like in a very heavily flown area. Like the amount of aircrafts coming into that specific airport is insane.
Yeah.
Even during the day, it would be bad.
Oh yeah, and you know, I honestly believe that it is the Blackhawks' fault. I don't think it has anything to do with it being a female pilot or a young pilot. I think I heard she had 500 hours. That's a lot of hours. Maybe not for a helicopter, but in general, that's a lot of hours on any type of vehicle or aircraft. I think it was honestly just mostly it was a freak accident. There's probably a root cause. I think air traffic control probably could have figured it out.
I think you're right about that, Dave. And I did watch something that came out about air traffic control. Is that they were understaffed. This one guy that you heard in some of the videos, he was controlling, like, I think the guys that were landing, the guys that were taking off, the local area that, you know, controlling to keep out of the line of other planes and stuff. And they did say they were understaffed, and he was doing multiple jobs at one time. So I could see where that split second or 15 seconds that you seen before the accident, I could see that being a big issue as well.
Yeah. My thing would be like they should have recognized basically the altitude that these things were at. I mean, yeah, the plane's coming in, so it's definitely descending in altitude. The Black Hawk would be constant, probably, like you said. They're stuck to a flight plan and a flight path, and they fly it, and unless they start doing maneuvers, I would assume they're probably not doing crazy stuff right there, like right next to the Capitol.
Yeah.
They're probably just flying through, kind of like skimming through the river area. And that, I mean, if they would have been 100 feet lower, nothing would have happened. So I want to say air traffic control would be more at fault than the pilot because they should have been able to disseminate the information they had that neither of the other pilots did have. So that guy gets to see everything. Those other pilots only know what their instruments really tell them.
Yeah.
So in the end, that Black Hawk, from what I understand, might have been too high. So the fault falls with them. Also, you're coming in near an airport that's an active, like, landing path. They need to probably be a little bit more aware of that. And I can guarantee you there's going to be a policy change where that flight path no longer exists. 100%. They're going to make them they're going to make them fly extremely high over all commercial or in public air, like airports. Guaranteed.
And for a few years, there's going to be more people in the air traffic control, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If understaffed was one of the issues, you can expect more. But there's another video I seen today, and I don't have it on here, but I watched a guy talk about, I looked at the radar, and I seen where the plane, or the helicopter, excuse me, the Black Hawk helicopter, he seen where it took off and where it was going. Okay, so if you're looking at flight radars 24, that all military flights will not show you where they take off from and where they're going to land at. They will show you once they're in the air, they will show you a track, but they will not show you where they're taking off for. That is a security issue.
Right.
So the guys their assumption was that it was picking up someone in like a Russian community of some sort or a building, and that was who was on that flight. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're looking at the flight radar 24 and you're assuming that it left right there, you'd probably be wrong, because they're never going to show you where they left from and where they're going to end up at.
Yeah. I mean, to me, them picking up a Russian, that seems a little crazy. I guess anything's possible. My bingo card this year is outstanding. So It's possible. You know, I've been surprised in a month, so who knows? That's like everyone thought there was someone important on the actual aircraft. It was like the fucking figure skating team, which I'm not saying they're not important, but they wouldn't sacrifice 3 soldiers and a Black Hawk to take out a figure skating team. That would be also insane.
Yeah. Also, those figure skating. I've seen some pictures. There were a lot of kids that were, and their coach, their parents.
Did you see that video where it's basically like that particular club is also the club that they lost in like 1961 to an aircraft crash?
No, I did not see that.
Yep. Yeah.
Like they were. Yeah.
It was like Boston something, Boston School of something or another. Like Nancy Kerrigan was there, like talking and crying, and everyone was kind of like, Jesus Christ, because the rest of the team was still there practicing, and they're like, practice never stops. Like, didn't even give them a day. They were out there practicing again. It's like, holy crap.
They're gonna say they're cursed now.
Yeah, it's definitely a sad situation.
Oh, absolutely.
But
just like in any big accident like that, I hope it was fast. I mean,
yes,
I hope that Black Hawk honestly took most of them out.
Yeah, or knocked them out, and then they didn't know what happened, because I would hate, 30-degree water.
Strapped in.
Strapped in. You're underwater, 30 degrees. You may be missing limbs, you may not, but I mean that would be horrific.
Yeah. Now, when they say buckle your safety belt for landing, I might not. I don't know. That's not like I can land in any water around here, but be like a foot deep river or something. Yeah, it sucks. If it wasn't for Trump, right? Him just dismantling the FAA.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that in the media today.
They act like everything is instantaneous for him.
Yeah, I mean, the dude just got the job again, and he's picking up where whatever Biden left, which ain't nothing but chaos and disaster. In my opinion.
Let's be honest.
Eggs being expensive on him already.
Hell yeah, they are. I buy so many of them.
Oh, y'all bring that up. I'm glad y'all brought that up, because eggs expensive. I just seen a thing where somebody asked, why were the eggs expensive, right?
Yeah.
So it came out that Biden administration, they killed over 100 million chickens last year.
Scared of the avian flu.
They were trying to say it had the bird flu.
Yeah,
100 million chickens.
Yeah. So something in Canada is going on now where they're ordering like the killing of 400 ostriches. I'm assuming probably the same thing.
I would expect that from Kentucky Fried Chicken, but not the Biden administration.
Well, DuhZeez, I don't know if you've seen the first case of the bird flu was here in Louisiana. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was an elderly lady, and they said she caught it from her chickens. She lives in the middle of nowhere, okay? How would you think that chicken caught the bird flu? Either another bird landed there.
I mean, you can't control free flying birds.
Yeah. But
they had a cat get it too, remember that?
Yeah.
Cat.
That was after, but the lady apparently died, and they said it was because she was already like up in age, okay?
Right. She was batting against 100 probably already.
Yeah. So they blamed that on her fatality. Okay, that's just like when COVID or whatever. That's when COVID and people died of a heart attack. They said, "Oh, it was COVID," or in a car crash. Oh, that was COVID.
Comorbidities.
They had gunshot wounds and they were calling it COVID.
I mean, So many things that they said. It was just ridiculous. Okay.
So now we're all getting up in age. I can remember the avian flu happening. It seems cyclic. I wouldn't say every year, but it does seem every few years. It's just something that happens, you know. And I look
other
at
year it's the swine flu.
right, and I look at like deer populations. Sometimes deer populations get diseases and die off, and it's like nature doing a control process for population.
Yes.
And here we come as humans. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, we have to end it. Maybe it's just Mother Nature going, oh, okay, you guys got too much of that.
Got to thin the herd.
Yeah.
Well, when you have a lot of a species, especially as many chickens as are around the world, if anything does get out, it's going to spread like wildfire.
Right.
It's just like in a city, with so many people just packed together, if there's a virus that gets out, it's just going to spread to everybody so quickly because they're just so packed together. It's the same thing with all your farm animals. There's just so many of them that if a virus does break out amongst anything, sheep, anything, there's just so many of them on the earth that it's going to spread.
Yeah.
But they have that place in Montauk where they
You said sheep. A lot of Iraqis. I mean, oh, sorry.
And goats.
No.
Yeah, mine were goats with them. They love
Oh
goats.
yeah.
Yeah, they like it. They have Montauk where they're supposed to study all those viruses and stuff that animals get so they can counteract them.
Right.
That's what that place is set up to do. That's why it's an island off the shore of New York or something.
And,
But
and
I don't
I'd
know
have
if
to
they've ever
pull it
cured
up.
anything there.
yeah. I also, my thing would be oh shit, what was I about to say? Oh, we talked about it last time with
Getting
the
old.
forests, the forests up here with monoculture and how all of the trees up in Flagstaff, Arizona, they're all ponderosa pines. It's unnatural. Every tree, every foot is a ponderosa pine because they've cleared them out, and then the logging companies go in. Why would you plant 7 different trees? They're just going to plant 1, and things spread. Right now, we're dealing with a beetle that's killing them. Well, these chicken farms and all these other places, I guarantee it's only one breed of chicken. The potato famine back in the day, it was only one potato. It got mold on it. Guess what? Wiped out that whole thing of potatoes. So I kind of look at it like that. We're setting ourselves up for that failure by this is the most productive chicken to make money. We're only going to breed these little guys. Well, then when something happens, it spreads so fast among them because they don't have the ability to fight it off. They're all the same.
Yeah.
That's what happened to bananas. The bananas your grandparents ate, it's completely different than the bananas we eat because they got wiped out by some fungus.
I just watched a video about the banana wars. Chiquita, or whatever the company is, hired a bunch of mercenaries to wipe out the locals so they could take bananas. It was fucking wild.
America?
Yeah, I was like, what?
That's wild.
The same thing with the avocados. They're owned by a cartel or some crap.
Well, God bless the cartel for that. The one good thing they do.
I like some guacamole.
They're still expensive here, which blows my mind.
Speaking of cartel, though, that's another thing that we've been seeing is since Trump has taken office, that he's cracking down. Cartel, the drug, anything crossing the border, man. I've even read that he's sending dispatched a Marine, a Marine battalion or a group of them down there to the border. Now cartel have been setting up IEDs, and there's a no travel for Americans to Mexico at this moment.
Son of a bitch.
Dang.
That screws our party up this summer. No.
That ruins my whole El Salto trip I was telling you about.
No more margaritas.
Aguave.
Trying to get a picture, not really related to cartel, but it is related to. Remember when I was talking about how everything's always crowded here because of all that crap?
Yeah.
I went to QT on Tuesday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I saw something for the first time. I'm trying to save the image out of my email here that I've never seen before. Where the hell did it save that to? And just because we were talking about it, I was like, wow, that's fucking insane. Because I was telling you, like, they're always, like, filled with just landscaping trucks.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that.
There it is. That's what I want. Where the hell did... Boom, 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 share, screen, window.
If you do the window, it's not going to play any sound.
Now, Arizona, a lot of illegal immigrants. The landscaping companies are booming. Usually, that QT at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's maybe one pump open that you can get gas at. And all the other ones have a F-350 crew cab long bed hauling a 24-foot landscaping or construction trailer, and there's about 18 people per truck, all in orange vests. Every morning. I mean, I go to this QT every morning. This was Tuesday morning, and I just went. I went, holy shit, it's working.
It's like when you turn the light on and the cockroaches.
They roached out. They were out.
Oh man!
I saw that and I immediately stopped my truck and I was like, I got to take a picture of this because I've never seen that ever. There was 3 cars in the parking spot and maybe 4 people inside.
The good thing is you can go pump gas now. You ain't got to wait in line.
Yeah, I don't even have to lock my truck. I feel free.
But who's going to do your landscaping?
It's fine. Let it grow. I was talking to my coworkers about that. Everyone's like, what about all that? I'm like, we're going to have to do it. We got too comfortable. You know, I remember I grew up, I did all the landscaping and fucking mowing the lawn and trimming the bushes in our yard. Everyone has enough money.
Now.
Yeah, it seems like everyone has enough money. They all have landscapers. Do it yourself. Yeah. Also, I live in Arizona. Our yards are rock. It's rock and cactus.
People
we do our...
used to have children. And children used to do those
your cactus are getting out of hand. You need to go cut it.
You want to know what you want to know what the number one lawn equipment for your yard care is here? It's a blowtorch. Because you can burn the weeds out of your rocks and you don't got to pick them.
I have one of them.
Yep, me too.
It's too wet here to use it though most of the time.
Yeah, it's like breathing water down here. But did you see
outside in water wings?
You seen the White House, the press secretary, when
smoke show.
When she considered undocumented immigrants criminals, man, the media took that and ran, didn't they?
It's wild.
I saw a thing on Twitter or X where somebody community noted someone about the SNAP program and how they were saying that illegals were getting the SNAP, the benefits.
I wouldn't doubt it.
The community note, the community note said illegal immigrants cannot receive SNAP benefits. However, the illegals weren't being classified as illegal.
Correct. They're migrants.
So they were getting them.
Yeah.
So
it's the whole game. It's the whole game.
Yeah.
And my thing is dude, I'm from here. I grew up here. I know a lot of Mexicans. I love Mexican food. I get it. Most of them, that I know at least, agree. It's my parents, my grandparents, they did it the right way, and these people are basically cutting in line. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of tired of it. And I'll be honest. I mean, it's clear proof. They're not sending their best and brightest like they keep trying to claim. When we were talking about Colombia, when they didn't want them back. Why? You don't want your doctors back? Because that's apparently what they are? You don't want them back?
When Venezuela, released all their inmates to us, that should have been a clear sign.
Yep. I think we were talking about it last time. I would have done the same thing. That's a great idea. If I was down there, I'd be like, oh, they're letting them in? Fucking let them out. I'll fucking drive you to the border.
Tell me where you want to go.
They probably did.
I'll get you all the way to I'll get you all the way to Panama. Let's go.
Dude, that's it. That's it. Okay, where have we? You know what? We need to find the ICE agent, dude. I'm from Bora Bora. Take me back.
I'm an illegal immigrant from the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, you gotta take me back, man. I don't know the language anymore.
I know I don't look it, but I am Tongan.
Light-skinned Tongan.
I'm a very light-skinned, small, short, 5'7" Tongan. We're very rare.
Yeah, man. You're an albino, dude.
Our tribe was wiped out due to colonialism. I would like to go back. Now, it's just my big thing. Always is I have to look at like, okay, we're America, right? We have to be the better people. We're kind of tired of it at this point. Most of our population, we're tired of being the police of the world. We're tired of giving people money to fix their countries. We're tired of everyone coming here, and it's just like if I were to go somewhere and stay there illegally, they'd kick me right the fuck out. I mean,
or they'd kill you.
Or that, yeah. We can't even buy property anywhere, basically. I mean, there's probably some countries, but you can't. No one will let you do what we allow them to do.
Yeah, they need to stop taking money from us and giving it to other countries. You know, if you want to take our taxes, right? Take our taxes. Let's make the United States better. Stop giving it to other countries. Stop filling it like the politicians. You already make enough money. Our tax money doesn't need to go in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So let's
use it for these disasters that keep happening instead of saying, "Oh, we don't have no money."
My best theory or
Take care of
answer
North
to that
Carolina.
would be, when you do your taxes at the end of the year. So they should bank your tax. They shouldn't use your
Claim
tax
20
like actively.
No.
You should be able to choose. They give you 4 options and they give you a list. Like, you can send your tax money to these 4 things. You pick. Here's a list. And I would be okay with that. I would do education, defense budget, stuff like that. Things that I want. I don't care about the gay salmon in the Columbia River. Don't care. I don't want my money going towards that. And what that would do is that would then allow the government to see where the population would like to see them doing things.
Man, did you see some of the things that they got rid of, the budgets?
Oh, I mean, I've heard about them for years. They're wild.
Okay, dude. They have to be code names, because who the hell in their right mind that we allow to govern this United States wants to do our hold on, let me word this. Who wants to have scientists study ice cream cones and why they leak? Or how about why the hell are we sending how much money of condoms going to what country? There was like millions. I was like, what? Yeah.
It's all money laundering.
It's a way to put it in their pocket, and they call it something.
They count on low IQ, low info voters to just go along with everything, because nobody's going to read their 7,000-page bill to see what's in that crap.
I remember I wanted to read them once. I got through like 3 pages. I was like, all right. I was like, all right. Fuck, I'm done.
A lawyer to read the crap.
Yeah.
They put it in lawyer speak, so it's a completely different language. So you don't
into
the first
this
part,
fourth,
second part, and third. Yeah. I'm surprised they don't use Old English just so people don't know what the hell's going on.
Ye hear old upon this day.
You got to put your wig. You got to put your wig on.
Let me get my
You
powder
cannot
out. Hold on.
understand it if you do not
I
have
was
this
thinking about
wig.
this the other day. During the Spanish Inquisition, they did the same crap. They would print Bibles in Latin so that the normie people couldn't read it.
Correct.
And if you were found with a Bible that was readable, they would torture you to death.
Heretic.
It's basically the same thing with our laws right now. They put it in this lawyer speak so the normie people can't understand it. And if you understand it and you have a problem with it, oh, you're a racist, Nazi, a bigot, whatever. It's like, no, this bill that's about building a wall at the southern border, I don't understand why it has, gender studies for Iraq in there, and 5 million for, you know, studies on salmon and semen levels and why they drop. I don't understand why that's in there.
Well, they need that to make sure the wall is structurally sound.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were
it's
going to
like-
paint the wall salmon colored. So
They should let me write the bill. We're going to build a wall. Period. All right, there we go.
It's gonna be
Anyways,
big.
moving on. This is our budget. This is
Be
the
like
time
C-Spot
window.
Run. You know, the C-Spot Run. C-Spot Run. Run, Spot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all fun. It's all funny to me. It really is.
Hey, remember we were talking back in one of the previous episodes about Elon with his from the heart salute.
Yes. His slightly too many degrees north.
Yes.
He went 20 degrees a little too high.
So apparently it has touched some of the hearts of Europeans that they created a sticker that I'm going to share with y'all that they've been sticking on Teslas, okay? So let me go ahead and all over Europe, man. All over Europe. So I'm going to share this with you. And
It's going to be awesome. Please just be him doing the salute. That'd be fun. I mean, I would cut the black out. Just have the red.
don't buy a swastika. Oh my god, dude. So
People
yeah,
with nothing better to do.
so this here was in London, but you know from the
These same fucking people will drive a fucking Volkswagen with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you mean? Well, the Volkswagen was made for the Nazi Party. That's where it began.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you like Hugo Boss? You want to know why the Nazis look so well dressed? Because of him. They were evil, but I will give them that. They got 10 out of 10 on their uniform. I think that they were sick. They ruined it for the rest of the world, for the eternity. No one can look like that ever again.
And they ruined the little tiny mustaches, too.
Yep.
Oh god.
Charlie Chaplin's so mad. He's just like, that son of a bitch.
Dude, I keep trying to get a guy at work. This dude has like black hair. He's real pale. I mean, not pale, but he's like a lighter skinned guy, but he has black hair. And I keep trying to get him to cut his mustache to the Hitler. You know what I'm saying? And come to work. He refuses.
You just gotta go, instead of just doing a one finger, you do like a two, and it's not as bad.
Or do it really, really slowly over time. and then wait and see what point going in do people start having a problem with it.
Make it the frog in the boiling pot experiment.
Yeah.
How long?
Somebody's going to bring out a ruler and be like,
before it's going to jump out.
all right, you're okay.
Whoa. All right, it's within non-Nazi regulation. You're fine. What's funny is, like, in the army, dude, I saw a lot of people grow. I wouldn't say it was a full Hitler, but to avoid being yelled at, they would always trim it, like, here. And it was a fucking Hitler. Like, no one cared.
You know what's crazy?
I don't think anybody really cares about what Elon did either. I'm like,
No.
even if he did a Nazi salute, you know what? People wouldn't care.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you're a Nazi, though, you would have came out a long time ago.
Right.
He's not going to wait until this moment to come out. I'm sorry. Dude.
It's also wild to accuse an entire civilization, America, 50% of us, of being Nazis when it's like, our grandfathers fucking wiped them out.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
But our grandfathers also hired them after the war, too.
Well. You always take the smartest. That's all the way back Greek, Rome, all of them.
Yep. I think along the way, though, we picked up a lot of special people that think that way these days. So, you know.
I mean, I'm just saying there was a whole side of the political spectrum that was cheering on the death to Jews, like a couple months back, maybe. They were all cool with it, river to the sea. And then they try to cover it up with, well, that's Zionism. Yeah. The kid going to college in New York that you blocked going to class because he had a Star of David necklace isn't a Zionist. You know,
it should be, but
yeah, I doubt
research first.
It was just funny. It's like you guys are on the side of people that do want to kill all the Jews. Like they literally want to, but then you call everyone a Nazi. It's fucking wild to me.
This is who we have in office.
I mean, I'll be honest.
That's who we have in office, man. That's who's running this country. Well,
hopefully
not anymore.
I did have a lot of hatred towards the Middle East for, I've been out, 12 years? 14 years, probably 14 years next month. I would say 7 years straight, I was pretty much so anti-Middle East. Now I go, all right, we kind of got lied to a little. My bad.
Yeah, we get a lot of propaganda over here. I'm not saying, all of it's wrong, but we get a lot of propaganda one direction only, and if you got it from the other direction, then you start getting the river to the sea stuff. So then you gotta,
I asked my mom about it because I joined. She didn't like that idea, and I go because I'm watching everything go on now, like Ukraine and Israel and all everything that's going on, even down in South America, like all the propaganda. And I'm just like, was it this blatant back then? And she goes, yeah. And I feel like an idiot. But I was young. I was in high school, and I saw 9/11 happen. I was like, game on, dude. Like, we're going.
By the way, DuhZeez, Dave, I met him in basic training, Fort Benning, Georgia.
we were the end of the alphabet together.
Yep. Yeah, the last ones to hold that duffel bag in the air.
Because I remember I joined buddy program with Ozers, Max, my buddy. I've known him since, kindergarten. And they were like, yeah, you guys are going to go join together. You're going to go through basic together. And then we got there, and they were like, line up by last name. And he's Ozers, middle of the fucking road. We got Yeagley and Wisman. Like, oh, well, we're the last. All right, fuck.
I know what that feels like.
I remember it. It's like a PTSD thing for being on the school bus with assigned seating,
Shark attack.
I had a teacher, only one ever teacher, that would say, all right, line up alphabetical but reversed. So every now and then the people who were last of the alphabet would go first.
That was very nice of her. I would have appreciated such a thing.
Yeah, there's only one teacher in my entire existence ever did that.
I would have appreciated that whenever we were holding our duffel bags.
Yeah.
Could at least do random number generator or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. No, but they did put out an hour ago, I just seen that Down Blackhawk was practicing secretive evacuation plans.
So that makes me believe they were probably under night vision. Because they're going to be blacked out. They're going to be blacked out. So
flying that low, though, you would have to fly night vision that night. You're not. I mean, some of your instruments are not going to work at that level.
Yeah. I mean, also, I don't know what gen they're on. I know the last thing I saw about the modern night vision is absolutely insane. Compared to what I had PVS 7 Deltas and PVS 4s, which was a binocular to monocular and then a monocular, and it was like Gen 2. And it was basically like I was playing fucking N64. It was terrible.
What was the distance on them?
You could see forever, but it was just like you would just see different shades of green, and unless you were really close, you could see facial features. But if you got a couple, 100 feet from me, you were just like a green person. The biggest problem is depth perception, which is if they were under night vision, that might have also been an issue. So I broke my nose because of the depth perception. We were up on a rooftop, and it started getting all windy, and I had my, it was a PVS 7 Deltas, is the binocular to monocular, and basically, it rests right here on the bridge of your nose. And I was trying to hold up a camo net on this roof that we were on, and I ended up, turning around and just hitting a brick, just a concrete brick, and just fell face first into the ground, and it just shattered my bridge. And you don't know where your feet are. You kind of have an idea, but you don't. getting out of like vehicles, the ramps and shit, you're always like fucking up and falling. But nowadays, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos of, I think they're testing them, which means there's probably better ones in like the SF community. But like the regular soldiers are getting like the augmented night vision, where it's like IR/night vision, and it like highlights everyone. It's absolutely insane. Let me see if I can.
Just close range IR and then night vision for far range.
IR is just, we only used IR when we were completely blacked out and we had to use green beams and all this other stuff. And because the biggest problem with all of them is still just that light pollution. The other thing with IR is heat, right? So night vision, you don't really see heat, you see light. So the moon refraction on the Earth will allow you to see. With IR, it is if you're hot or cold. Which always made for fun videos because... like peeing and farting, you could see it.
Oh my god.
Well, I was just wondering if they used like some type of combination to where it would tell you whether things were closer, depending on.
I think this new modern one. Let me share this. I think it might have something to do with that, but I'm not positive. I didn't look too far into it. Is that not fucking full screen? Whatever.
Wow.
That's wild.
So you know James Bond's probably got something better than that.
That's what I was saying. If they're giving this to conventional troops, the SF community has something beyond this. They're usually a gen ahead of us. But like, that's crazy.
That's pretty wild, dude. That's nothing like we used to have.
Looks like Call of Duty.
Cycling.
Yeah, Call of Duty don't even look. That's pretty wild. And they're probably shooting those. What do you call? Oh shoot! Remember when we were doing live night fire?
Yep.
And we had to go put that fire out.
Yep. All those tracer rounds.
Yeah, that's probably tracer rounds picked up on that new night vision.
Those are fun. They're definitely fire starter, especially because I was up at Lewis, and all of our ranges are backed by a fucking dry forest. And every range day, if it was a night range, it was just shoot a couple rounds, everyone, guns down, go out there and stomp out the fire with your fucking boots.
Hey, you remember in Fort Benning when we were shooting those tracer rounds, and they were like, "Oh man, we need to burn that grass anyway. Let it burn." And then it started getting out of hand. Then they're like, "Oh no, go, go, go." Get your e-tool. And somebody decided they were going to piss on that fire.
Hey, it works. I mean, it does. Shit, out here right now, if you were to fucking shoot a tracer round, you'd turn into L.A. Fuck, you burn a whole goddamn fucking valley down, dude. I think we've had...
about 8 months ago.
I don't think we had like some sprinkle rain in the last week. We haven't had rain in like 3 or 4 months.
It'd be hard to burn cactus, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but everything around that cactus is dead. Like everything.
Tumbleweed carries it though, you know. As it rolls, it carries
Tumbleweeds.
They're a real thing.
I seen them in West Texas, man. That's the first time ever. When I was out there, over here we'd never see dust devils. Okay,
Yep.
So in West Texas, there was dust devils the size of tornadoes. I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
I said, that ain't no dust devil. They're like, yeah, that's dust devil. I said, it's picking up shit. They're like, oh no, that's dust devil. I was like, do that.
Oh my god. Even here we have those, in the Middle East they call them Haboobs. We have them here, where it's basically a storm front coming in, and it's like the high wind. It'll be the entire valley is a wall of dirt, and it's just moving east to west, and you can see it, and it's just like, holy shit. You gotta
like
pull over.
Like a sandstorm?
Yeah, usually it's monsoon season, which we haven't had in fucking 2 years.
That's another thing, man. West Texas, over there in like Pecos, Carlsbad, New Mexico. Yeah, until I went there, I've never seen I don't know. It's like a big wall of sand coming off mountains.
That's a Haboob.
and it's like when it hits you, it sounds like somebody's sandblasting your truck.
What's crazy is when you're not in it, it's perfectly calm usually. And the moment it rolls into your area, the wind starts going nuts. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure that's a high and low pressure system.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to tie my camel up, wait till it to pass. No.
It's the sandworms that get you usually.
God, that's the only time they come out.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Nah, but I don't know if you ever been over there, Carlsbad Caverns, but
The only place I've ever been in Texas is when we went to AIT. Sam Houston.
yeah.
You know, I've driven through it. That's about it. Dallas,
you,
Fort
Caverns are
Worth.
cool.
What is it? DuhZeez?
I said the caverns are cool. I haven't been there since I was like 5 years old though.
They're the big ones, right? Like they're not like it's not like you're cave crawling. You're like in a giant cave.
It's huge, yeah.
They have an elevator that, like, so if you ever go to Carlsbad Caverns,
They have a gift
walk
shop down there.
Yeah, walk
Inside the cave.
Inside
You got to
the
walk down because you don't want to walk up. So when you walk all the way down, you get to the elevator. You can go up. It brings you up to the gift shop. Takes you right to it.
Your ears
But-
pop too when you're done.
I bet you they sell cool rocks and shit, don't they?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd be in heaven.
yeah.
I've hit that peak in my age where I like to collect cool looking rocks.
And at a certain time,
Go to Utah.
like when the sun's setting, there's they got benches that look like rock. So at a certain time when the sun sets, like thousands of bats come flying out of this place. Man.
Oh yeah. I think
It's
that's maybe
freaking
where I heard
crazy.
of them.
But it's also known for aliens too. Like, we went to Roswell, New Mexico. That place is a trip, dude. Like the museum they have there, it's I don't know. It's like high school museum, but there's alien statues, tikis, and like throughout this entire town. When you first drive to the town, there's a big billboard and says they have people giving a pie to an alien that's walking out of a spaceship. I'm like, oh
I
my
think they had the
god!
guy with the wild hair going aliens.
And I guarantee ancient astronaut theorists.
Yeah.
I guarantee that alien given a pie, there's a sign next to it that says "World's Best Pie."
I don't know,
Every
man.
pie stop on a highway is world's best.
What gets me though is that there's an Air Force
Pie had
base
a hole in it.
right there.
Yeah,
back
you got White Sands out there, all that. White Sands is a crazy freaking place.
yeah, it's pretty wild. Whenever we went to that museum, as soon as you walk through the door, you can hear this lady just laughing, okay? I'm thinking, she's just talking to somebody and giggling it up, man. So the person, when they pay this lady, they walk off. And we're walking up, and we ain't even there yet. She's still laughing. I'm like, uh-oh.
A couple screws loose.
Yeah, I was like, she just kept on laughing, dude. I was like, we sat there, we walked up, she never said anything. She just kept laughing. So we paid our dues, and we went in, and she was still laughing. I'm like, she ain't right, dude.
You get stuck in a cave for years and you'll be the same.
She probably got taken by aliens.
I mean, those kind of places attract some weirdos. We have Sedona up here, which is like, oh, it's on a ley line, and some of those hippies come down to the valley, and you're just like, all right, let's reel it back into reality, people. You're not crossing dimensions in Sedona. You're doing mushrooms.
Peyote, man.
Do the trees grow weird around it though? There's some places like in California, I think they have where the trees grow really weird.
Up in there's no trees in Sedona. It's like Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I just think it's. I forgot how they say it. It makes them feel different. There's nothing. It's just like a bunch of red rocks out in the middle of the desert. That's all it is, and it's just like.
Dang, you're like living the Mars life.
Dude, it looks like Mars up there. I mean, it's all like red sandstone, so like iron, mainly iron within that sand.
DuhZeez,
There are
that's
some
where
places, though,
that's where they're getting those pictures from.
yeah.
I mean, totally possible. There's some landscape out here. It's wildly reminiscent of Mars.
Yeah, they probably have a rover out there too somewhere.
Yeah.
No, we did land on Mars,
Yeah.
but they do have some places where there's like they call it a magnetic spike, where the Earth has a spike of iron,
Right.
so the magnetic field acts weird in those places. So there are places like that. Now, whether they affect a person or not, that's all.
I think most of these people they're just hippies doing drugs,
Yeah.
which is fine. That's cool.
But
I've done mushrooms quite a few times. So I just don't do them out in the middle of the desert looking at stars.
Yeah, which is fine. But mushrooms is a lot different than the mescaline. Mescaline will really, you'll see some stuff. But there is, like, plants will grow strange in those areas too.
Right.
So there's something going on there.
I think there's a forest in Europe where like all the trees are like bent in a wild direction, but they're all normal. Like they've tested them, everything's normal about them. They're just all growing. All of them are growing in this one area.
They grow out and then up.
Yeah,
Towards the sun, or
and
They
they tried.
grow straight parallel and then they go up. It's
And they
weird.
tried to explain how,
Everybody's
like,
trees that
oh,
way.
maybe it was a meteor strike, and everyone's like, there's no way, because the amount of growth to get that horizontal growth, it would take years.
But
Yeah,
there's a
that's
place,
pretty
I
wild.
believe it's in California, where the trees grow and they're like twisted looking.
That's kind of cool.
Something similar to that, but it's really strange growth there.
I mean, people in that whole metaphysical feel, it's cool. I mean, most of them are nice, but a lot of them are just like, all right, hold on. Like, we always make the joke, like, you guys remember the joke about licking toads?
yeah.
You know that you don't lick them? You want to know how you use a toad to get high? Not saying that I've done this. I just have now seen videos and how this works.
Go ahead, Dave. Share it.
It's a Colorado river toad. On the back of toads, they have those big glands on their neck where their venom sacs are. They squeeze the venom out on glass or whatever. Usually it's glass.
No,
And
don't
you
tell me
let
they
it.
snort it.
No. My mom's calling. Not yet, Mom. Then you take the venom and let it dry on these little pieces of glass, and you shave it off, and then you smoke it. You don't
It's a
lick
different
the
than
toad.
I've seen.
You just
Well,
heard
there's
that from a
toad in South
friend, huh?
America that they do lick.
I mean, there probably is. Out here in Arizona is where that whole toad licking thing started, and it's you don't. You can do it in Mexico.
That's not the right toad thing. They do have a South American toad that some pharmaceutical was supposedly going to synthesize what was on it because it was like 40 times stronger than morphine or something. And it was the ones like I think the Aztec warriors would like lick and then go into battle.
Dang. I mean,
That's where the licking came from. Was those? I don't know what those toads are you talking about. I've never
they're
heard
Colorado. I'll send you guys the link. It's as much as I don't like Vice, they have it's called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, and it's just this dude that goes around the world and does drugs, like natural drugs and shit. And he came here to Tucson, and then he ended up going and crossing into Mexico, and they smoked toad venom. And then he goes into, like, there was a booklet back in the 60s that are all about it, and they were trying to find the writer of the book, and they ended up finding him, and it's pretty crazy.
No.
Yeah, the toad I'm talking about though, it's a South American one. I can't remember exactly where, but I looked into them. You can actually order them. You can get them here, but I don't know that they continue to carry their abilities if they don't eat the same thing.
Right, they're eating something that makes them produce the chemical.
I know it's like the poison arrow ones. If they don't eat what they're supposed to eat, they won't be poisonous.
Yeah. It's just like the idea, like you can buy the one cactus or whatever, not peyote. There's another one that's San Pedro that has the same mescaline characteristics in it. It's like at Home Depot out here. You can just buy them. It's just like a giant long tubular cactus. You can just buy them, and they call them San Pedros.
Man, y'all talk about that, but have you seen the pharmaceutical companies are not happy
No, they're not at all.
because they're saying that the anti-anxiety medicines. There's a
Yep.
heavy decrease in the purchase of anti-anxiety medicines
Yep.
because of marijuana. Yep.
Now you know
So
who was behind trying to ban it.
Which is
Dude.
crazy. Which is crazy because marijuana can make you very anxious.
Yeah, depends on the strain.
it depends on the people too, or the person.
I smoked.
Yeah.
I smoked an hour and a half ago. Love it. That's actually. I'd never smoked weed until I was like 30. I'm 39 now, and the only reason I did it was because after all of my fun with the government, I have PTSD with disability to it, and they gave me antidepressants. And the problem is it was a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and that is terrible for you. And I couldn't get off of them. And my one buddy, Murphy, who was another medic in one of our sister battalions, he was like, dude, just smoke weed. I'm like, really? He goes, because it's like a blanket medicine they give us. So all of us were on it. And like the side effects of stopping it were like brain zaps and like withdrawals that they described, which I've never done heroin, but they said it's almost as bad as heroin. And it messed me up like emotionally for like a year of trying to get off of it. He's like, every time you feel that little brain zap, he goes, just smoke. And I did that because I cut it down from like 300 milligrams to like 25, but I couldn't go from 25 to 0. And then when I was up in Portland, it was legal because Oregon was recreationally legal. I go, fuck it, I'll give it a try. And I did it. I cut basically cold turkey off the antidepressants and I forgot what it was called. Venlafaxine is the medical one, but I forgot the trade name. And I was able to get off of it completely scot-free.
That's good, man. A lot of people don't like. A lot of people do not understand. Like Louisiana is still not recreational here. It's medical, but like say for my position, I couldn't do it because where I work, even if I had a prescription, because it wasn't federally legal, I could still be fired, reprimanded,
Correct.
stuff like that. So, hopefully, the administration takes it to where, screw big pharma, and let's.
I hate big pharma.
Yeah,
I
man.
hate 'em.
So
Passion.
It's.
get it on the right track.
I will always say this. I enjoy it, but I do think it's a double-edged sword. I think it comes down to the individual. It's just like anything. It's like drinking. It's like doing anything recreationally that you don't need. You still have to be careful with. It's still addicting. Yeah. There's people that'll tell you marijuana is not addicting. Yeah, it is. It's 100% addicting.
It's addicting. It's just not like some other things like nicotine.
Right.
Far more addictive.
Right.
Stuff like that. But to say it's not addicting, yeah. But also, you have stuff that's addicting. Coca-Cola is addicting.
I mean, caffeine's like one of the most addictive substances known to man.
Well, the Coke itself, the high fructose corn syrup, it's been known to be very hard to stop drinking. So are you going to ban that then?
Absolutely. We should only drink water. No. Yeah,
I don't drink that shit no more.
I like to, dabble every now and then. But my thing is, like I always tell people, like I know people that they smoke when they wake up. They smoke while they're at work. I don't do that. I wait till I'm home. I've probably cleaned something, taken a shower. There's some people that have no control over it, and they're like, I woke up and smoked. And it's like, dude, how? How do you function all day like that?
Some people can, man. Some people definitely cannot.
I got friends that are like, I don't go to the gym unless I'm high. I won't go to the gym.
I'll never leave this house.
I'll need to go to the gym, but I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things that they don't allow, not because they're bad or because they're addictive. They use those as excuses. It's because it would cut into the pharmaceutical industry.
Yep. It's basically cutting off someone's income that makes a lot of money.
I mean, they already proved that like one dosage of psilocybin or mushrooms pretty much cures depression.
Yep.
But no, take this antidepressants that actually one of the biggest side effects is worse depression.
And then I'm also going to lobby against ever legalizing anything that does not help my money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done mushrooms in fucking probably 2-3 years, but I used to dabble in it. It was easier when I had roommates that were growing them. Made it a lot easier to get a hold of.
I don't have anything. A lot of people have, don't like people doing that stuff. But I'm like, if they're doing it in the comfort of their home and they're not hurting anybody, who cares?
Right. That's kind of how I live. Like, we have friends, like, we'll go out to a bar and they'll do it. I'm like, dude, you're kind of ruining the vibe for everyone. Like, if you do it in your own time and everyone agrees, like, all right, that's whatever. Hey, fucking Jarrett's over there high as a kite. Who cares? But if, like, you're making it a ruckus with it, that's, you need to control yourself a little more.
People like that ruin it for everyone else.
Oh, absolutely.
Because other people see that and they're like, oh, I can't stand these people who do this stuff now because one bad interaction or a few bad interactions with people who don't have control.
They ruin everything.
I grew up, back in the day, you could drink and drive. It wasn't illegal.
I was going to bring that up too. Like, I think you should be able to have a roadie every now and then, Can't do that anymore.
Hey, what's crazy? Remember the propagandas they spoke about? And I don't know if it was the 1950s, but I found a flyer from the 1930s about marijuana. Okay.
Goddamn marijuana cigarettes.
So check this picture out.
The devil's lettuce.
I've heard it was supposed to take over
Reefer Madness. Yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah, in the 70s they made that movie, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Look at that lady down there.
She's toast, huh?
This is also the time period they were all using fucking opium.
Yeah. And
there was cocaine and all these medicines, yeah. But I remember, in my living life, one of my dad's ex-business partner's brother, who we called Uncle Robbie, he's a welder, and he used to get welder's flash because, in the 90s and 80s, you lived a little loosely. You don't wear a mask all the time. And he would get welder's flash, and basically they would give you, like, liquid cocaine eye drops to take care of it.
Oh,
wow.
That hurts so bad, too, when you get that on your eyes. I've had it twice, and it's like having a sunburn on your eyes. Have you ever had that?
No.
God, it's horrible.
I welded in high school, and I realized I suck at it, and I just said, all right, that's not me.
Yeah, I've had it twice, and it's not, like 3 days your eyes are like sandpaper and feels like you're sunburned. It's horrible.
I wonder, because I always all these like laser engravers everyone's buying now and all this shit, like, is that the same? That'd be the same burn, right? Because it's always you got to wear these special UV glasses so you don't get refraction from the laser shot in your eye.
I would assume if it did shoot like directly in your eye, apart then maybe, but just the light coming off of the side, it shouldn't.
Here you go.
Unless it's a really strong laser, maybe.
Yeah. Teenage dope slaves.
Dude, you can't tell me Big Pharma
100%.
didn't have nothing to do with this.
Why there's not a weed shop with these fucking blown up on like poster board size shit hanging on the wall?
You will kill people.
Dang, dude, that's pretty.
Look at that one.
That's like a 90s Dare ad right there. Did you remember that one where it was like the girl smoking on the couch and she didn't have any bones left in her body?
No.
Oh, yeah.
She was like melted into the couch. It's like, she was just smoking some fucking indica. That's all she was doing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the one about...
Devil's Harvest.
No, the one where there's one that says that your something about your white daughters will run off with.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Look
that one's been scrubbed from the internet. El Tobacco Negro. Come on, we know what you're saying.
The tobacco.
But that's in Hispanic.
Yeah, I think everything's reversed. So the black person's tobacco is the devil.
Oh, man.
That's fucking... That one's good. Really?
Dang, I didn't know that.
They are right that women will do anything for it. I mean, that's not wrong. But
I mean, that's an ad to do it, right?
Some of it backfired, apparently.
She traded her body for drugs? Okay.
Look at that.
those look like the...
You see that in the bottom left?
Yeah, that's crap. That ain't
Yeah, these people weren't smoking weed, dude. There was something in the weed.
Somebody beat that ass and put that picture up.
She hit both doors and the flight of stairs.
Oh, just because.
That's the flapper era, I believe.
Was it marijuana make your pantyhose run too?
Oh Lord, here we go. The mob.
Those look like the old like sci-fi novel.
Right, or like the little thin books where you choose the. If you want to do this, turn to page 120.
Yeah, they put so much work into these anti-marijuana ads. It's crazy.
That just sound right there. That right there looks like Hank Hill said marijuana. Marijuana.
Oh, I hate that marijuana. Dang it, Bobby. Stop smoking that marijuana.
I mean,
Devil's Harvest.
A lot of different ones. I guess over the
If you're
years from the
gonna smoke it.
1930s.
At least follow it up with pro.
My big argument for being... I'm a kind of middle road guy on it. Like I said, I think it does possibly lead to other things. There's some people that don't have the ability to stop, and they're like, oh, chasing the high. How much higher can I get? Oh, it's not doing it. Now I'm going to start doing fentanyl. I think it's possible.
Oh,
But it's also like...
possible.
With children, like with underage people, probably more.
Right.
More so.
They're not wired correctly yet to handle that.
Yeah.
Always trying to one-up one another.
Huh.
But I also would say, I've never had a dude high on weed try to fight me. So...
Yeah.
I mean, possibly if they're doing other things, they're drunk and high, maybe. But if they're just like potheads, never had one ever try to fight me, ever.
No, they probably just sit there and watch you.
Yeah, they're just like, dude, chill out. Who cares? All right, you're not wrong.
Here, take this. No, man, but big pharma.
And then before we forget, we got way off on the whole plane crashes.
Oh.
I'm gonna show DuhZeez this cool video, which I equated it to if you remember when Russia started hitting Ukraine with those supersonic missiles, and it was crazy footage of like how fast these things were coming to the ground. This airplane looks like a supersonic missile.
This is the most recent.
This is
plane
like
crash.
I got on at 7. It was an hour before that. So the first video is just it's just like it hitting the ground. You can't really see it, but then it actually shows. And of course, that guy screaming "Allah Akbar," probably not great.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's Middle Eastern. It's Philadelphia. It happens. This next video, you can actually see the body of the aircraft. Look at this.
Oh yeah, it's
Full of fuel. 100% full.
jet engines were aimed straight down.
So my theory, because it was a medical flight, sometimes when you're unconscious and you get woken up out of that, you kind of freak out. You don't know where the fuck you are. What if this dude on this medical flight woke up and was like, what the fuck's going on? And just fucking got combative and like got to the cockpit, because those medical aircraft don't have the locking door. And what if he overpowered everyone, like, where the fuck am I? And like knocked the pilot, I don't know. And just, he doesn't know how to fly the plane.
I thought they strap you down though.
Yeah, you would think.
Sometimes those straps fail. I would like to think that it was a medical flight, so it was probably more of a chronic issue than it was like just some random guy that was all fucked up on drugs or something. Like usually it's like you need a heart transplant, we're gonna fly you out. But I find that angle of flight very interesting.
Yeah, that's stick straight down flight.
And like I said, dude, that's like top speed, if not faster, because they're going down. That was
That's rocket speed down to the ground.
And then, of course, like I said, they're all blaming Trump because he's attacking the FAA. And I'm like, I don't think that one has anything to do with that. It's either what I said, probably far-fetched, or a 100% complete mechanical failure. Or the pilot fucking... It's so recent that I don't think anyone's really... It's just coverage of it. But Or it's that, or the pilot fucking died.
That's possible.
That happens.
Yeah.
It hit straight,
Yeah. So, that's... I mean, just like the previous crash, that's, sad for the families. But, I wonder if we're going to see any more of those.
100%. Any small aircraft that happen, like I said, small aircraft crash all the time. Like out here in Arizona, it's like once a month, some dumbass in his little Cessna or little Learjet that he bought will crash into a mountain because the hot air from Arizona and the mountains cause like all these turbulent winds. It happens. But because of that first crash, the media is going to 100% amplify it and somehow turn it around and be like, it's because Donald Trump. And it's like,
Always.
no, they happen all the time.
I can't wait to hear from what The View is going to say about it. I don't know if y'all are familiar with The View.
Oh, I think the whole world is familiar with The View.
Dude.
I can't stand it.
Oh,
How that show's not off the air blows my mind.
I'm telling you, somebody
Family
with
Guy made
deep
fun of them, and
pockets.
they did it perfectly.
People with deep pockets are funding that show.
I think that show is 100% still on the air because it creates such a large separation of people. They've not ever talked about anything that's it's somewhat middle of the ground. They're always the far extreme of everything.
A bunch of chickens clucking.
Yeah, and they always have that one token conservative. She's like, I'm a Republican. You're like, no, you're not.
She is nowhere near.
That's all I surround myself with, and it's like you're not even close to being a conservative in any sense.
Yes. I've never seen a conservative on that show.
I have, being berated as he tries to speak or she tries to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it, not the guests.
Misleading questions that they're always trying to do.
That's why I don't think I could ever go. Obviously, I'm not important enough to ever go on anything. But if you back me in the corner, I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm out. See you later. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, most definitely.
I want you to prove my theory about you. Right. All right. What is your theory? You're a racist Nazi fascist. Okay. My last name's German. There it is.
Yep.
We actually
BS.
we actually have your original Call of Duty voice logs.
Oh crap!
Oh shit. We also
we
have a mole in your Discord server as well.
God.
So, how much Russia stuff do you think is going to happen in the next 4 years?
Quite a bit. They already started with Tulsi Gabbard again, which is insane to me. To be in the position that she's in and just the National Guard, I believe that she is a lieutenant colonel. I don't think she's a full bird. I think she's higher than a major. I totally forgot. But just to be where she's at, you're telling me the government has never, at any point in time, looked into her background, maybe looked into it a little more than normal?
Yeah. It's weird how when these people get into these positions, then they don't want them in there. Suddenly, all this stuff happens to come out. Like with Matt Gaetz, and suddenly this person come out alleging that he did stuff, and it's like, wow, that's weird. It comes out right now whenever he's about to get this position.
And then you find out that it was a honeypot in the end, no matter what, and she lied about her age anyways. And then they're like, "Oh, well, he was still going after people that he thought were, 19 or whatever." I'm like, yeah, but that's. While I'm not saying I would ever bang a 19-year-old because I don't like them, that's like the human. That's how a man thinks. I'd rather have a 19-year-old than a 43-year-old who's been ran through by fucking 200 people. Sorry.
Yeah, but the media just, they don't care about that. they want the allegation. They don't care about if it's true or not. So
Well,
they can
yeah,
ruin somebody.
because all you need is the
It's all
headline.
about initial.
They look
Yeah,
about
their
the,
goal-
They want the
Make you
They want
bad
the
or
initial
make you the bad person.
because once the cat's out of the bag, it can't get back in.
yeah. But the thing is, any person you can have allegations on. Like any person can have an allegation. So all
Right.
they have to do is find somebody they can pay. Say, hey, would you say this
Yeah.
so that we can put this on air? And that's what they've been doing.
I mean, what was it? The Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, that one crazy lady that was like, he raped me, and then none of it lined up, and then it was basically proven false, and then just there's still half of America because they said it about him and they don't like him. It's true.
Yep.
Ruin
Well, it's true
somebody's
because they
life.
said it.
Yep.
There's a baseball player that happened to too. That girl.
Oh,
he had
like took the
video
took the pictures next to him in bed.
evidence. Yeah.
The
And
text.
he had to go. I think he's in Mexico or something now playing baseball or something, or Japan. I can't remember where he had to go. $100 million contract lost just because this girl alleged something.
with
sorry,
text
she's
with
being
text with
hurt.
her friend talking about how she's gonna fleece him for money.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She should be in prison. Period.
Yep. It's insane how they can get away with such things.
But if a dude did that, if there was a rich, popular woman and a guy said, she raped me, no one would care.
Nope.
No.
No one would do anything. They
I
wouldn't
believe
cancel
the
this
exact quote would be, "Sir, no one would rape you."
person. Women get away with it.
That's what I'd get.
'Cause they immediately.
I'm gonna be right back. Go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah, they get away with it because they're women's. Men don't have that kind of power.
Most definitely, man. I mean, they say equal opportunity, but it's not. Or even being equal is no longer the thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the DEI stuff?
Anything. Like anything. If a man gets taken, like say you get a divorce,
Oh, yeah, with divorce.
you know what I'm saying? They're going to take, let's just say, if she never worked and the man always worked, brought home, paid the bills, put money in his retirement, when he, like say, if she was running around on him, what they're going to, even if he had evidence, and I know this for a fact because one of my buddies from where I work at, he's going through the same thing. He hired a PI, got the evidence, and then
Yeah, it don't matter.
when he took it to his lawyer, they were like, "Oh yeah, man, we're gonna this should go good." When they brought it to court, they gave her half of his retirement. Half of his retirement. He had to buy back anything that he bought with her. Like after that, because they were married for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it was
That's why-
insane.
If anybody out there, if you're planning on getting married, make sure you buy your house and have it paid off first.
Yes.
Have a
Everything.
vehicle and paid off first.
Yes.
Anything you want and want to keep, make sure you own it before you get married. Just thinking.
Yep.
Or on the first date, just go, "How do you feel about prenups?"
There you
Just
go.
get that out of the way,
There
and
you-
they get all mad about it. But you're protecting your assets. You worked your whole life for what you have. You can't replace that time that you put into it. Oh, you're saying that you would leave me? No, I'm saying you will leave me.
I'm gonna let y'all hold it up for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing with that is like I dealt with that because I was old enough when my parents got divorced to I was like I understood what was going on, and it's just like holy shit. And like both my parents are kind of at fault. They used me as a weapon against each other, and like my mom got child support for me, and it was like my dad owned a company that was doing very well back then, and like she was getting like this is back in the 90s, like late 90s, because I remember probably like 98, 97, $1,200 a month for me alone on child support. I shopped at like Beals and Goodwill for clothes. $1,200 back in 97, 98 is like Dillard's, and yeah, it's. But I
Any money.
I mean, she got, my dad was half owner of the company. She got quarter of it. I mean, did she help? Yeah. She wasn't a machinist. She never ran a machine, you know. I don't blame her for it. I think she dedicated her time to raising me and my brother. I get that. But the way the courts are rigged for, like, pro-mother, anti-father is insane. We were defaulted to her custody. My brother was able to choose because he was over 14, so he chose my dad. And then I had to wait till 14 to live with my dad. But the whole time before that, my dad was brainwashing me to leave my mom, and it was crazy. Girls. Sorry, my dogs are fighting behind me. Yeah, I mean, I've had talks with them about it, and I'm like, I forgive you for it, but it was kind of fucked up. I was old enough to understand what was happening. Like,
I can kind of understand it from the woman's point of view too. If she's never had a job and everything,
right.
What she's gonna do, I can kind of understand that. But you know, she should at least there should be some effort for her to find a job or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of living off of
which my mom did, and she ended up, you know, I think she ended up working at like a Motel 8 first. And she worked her all the way up. She ended up working in the Arizona state government, and now she's retired. Guess what? My dad's not retired. He blew all of his money, loves alcohol, fucking lost 2 companies. My mom's retired now, so, you know, I tell her all the time, seems like you won that. Like you won that battle. That lady, she has the audacity to tell me, after being retired, I'm getting bored. I think I'm going back to work. And I was like, you're really going to sit there and say that to me? I'm in the generation that we're never going to retire, ever.
Yeah.
You met my dad. I know that.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, when I met your dad.
The full-on Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, dude.
Denim from head to toe.
When I pronounced your last name wrong, he definitely corrected me.
I have a picture of me and you somewhere in our greens and basic that he took.
Oh, dude. Horrible pictures. Just like today, man.
Hey, I will say this, dude. We were very much so more in shape.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. We were way smaller.
I used to be in shape too.
Dude.
You look pretty good, you know?
Yeah. DuhZeez can eat.
Worked out in almost 20 years.
He can eat whatever and not gain a weight or any kind of weight.
I'll drink a glass of water and gain 5 pounds. Just no problem.
What he doesn't tell you is I've had stomach issues for like 10 years and I haven't been able to eat hardly anything.
So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. My metabolism's always been pretty good. The highest I've ever weighed was around almost 230.
I'm at like 249, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I also like beer, and that's my crush.
I noticed a little difference when I did have a little more weight. It does make you a little tired, you know, more than when you don't.
I call it the putting the shoes on test. Does it tire you out to put your shoes on? All right,
it's time to lose weight.
It's time to start losing some weight. That's why I wear cowboy boots. You just slip them on and go.
Yeah, mine are slip-ons.
Don't worry, they're square toe. They're like work square toe cowboy boots. They're not the weird ones.
They're not the ones governing the DeSantis ways.
No, no. I am 5'7" and I accept it. Okay.
Well, I'm like
get them curls.
6, so.
The Mexican curls. I want a pair so fucking bad, dude. I want the alligator on it and his little head.
It would definitely
With
match
a snake head.
with the bike I have.
Ones with snake head.
Fucking riding around with curls on your boots.
Yep. They would match that bike.
During Christmas, you can put little bells on the curls.
Yeah.
Be awesome, dude. It's festive.
I wish I could grow a beard at the job I work at.
Yeah,
but I have to yeah, whatever, dude. Like, I can only keep a goatee, and Yeah, I gotta trim up, man. It's stupid.
Because you got to wear a mask, probably.
Yeah, once a year. Once a year when I go do the fit test.
I would straight up buy my own mask. It's like a full-on like wetsuit cap. Like, I bought my own gas mask.
Around the neck.
Yeah, all the way. Just.
It's just basically a paper bag or with a hose attached.
Sir, you're choking yourself. I'm good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Well, it's funny about the whole beard and gas mask thing, right? Like, maybe at my length, probably a problem. But, like, in the Army, they started allowing the Sikhs to have beards. And they completely get away from the whole, you got to be able to make a suction on your mask. It's all gone. And a lot of them can actually get the seal still. Like, my thing is, if you know you have a beard, you can bring product with you in your little gas mask bag. You bring some petroleum jelly in there. Oh, I got to put it on. Just go and just wipe petroleum jelly on your beard. You got a seal.
I say just use your beard as filtration.
Or just, die like a man. Just go out.
You either die like a man or you live with the Hitler style.
Like we were talking about last time when you brought that up. If you're putting your gas mask on, it's not looking too good anyways at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember how Hitler got that permanent little stash, right?
No.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The story was when mustard gas was introduced to the battlefield.
Okay, he was World War One.
World War One.
Yeah.
He took one of the dead soldiers' masks and tried to put it on, and it wouldn't fit over his mustache that he did have, so he started pulling it out. Like it
pulled all the fucking hair follicles.
So yeah, he was stuck with that.
It's all starting to make sense now. I'd be pretty mad about that.
That would make you want to genocide.
Those sons of bitches. Who made this mask?
That's why you got full face.
Leibowitz.
Yeah, Sharonberger. This son of a bitch.
Scheiße.
Never again.
Wait till I get back to Germany.
Firing squad.
I was watching something today about how, I guess someone in the UFC made some wild comments about how Hitler was good, and Dana White had to answer for it. And, he basically told the press, he's like, he's a fucking dumbass. And they're like, are you gonna, punish him? He's like, no. Freedom of speech. You can't fix idiot. You're just talking shit about him. He's like, he is who he is. He's 17-2. He didn't say that, but that's what his record is.
Oh my god.
Honestly, you know what?
Well,
who wants to kick his ass? Let's go.
You know something though.
Fight him then.
I don't know when he got introduced to the mustard gas, but results from being exposed to mustard gas makes you crazy.
I mean, I could see that.
So he got his dose, I'm sure.
My aunt.
Well, he may not breathe in.
Go on. Oh, you just maybe. My aunt was part of the team that helped destroy the last, basically the last thing of mustard gas in the U.S. So she was up in Idaho. It might have been when she was in Utah. But she was part of an organization that all they did was destroy all these weapons that did that. And then I guess from what I understand, they helped destroy the last set of mustard gas in the U.S. Which I was like, A, that's kind of fucking scary. How would you do it? I would assume they'd burn it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then they had to work on the Dijon gas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's the spicy version. Oh shit, that one's worse.
I don't
It's
believe.
burning my lungs more.
I wouldn't believe they would get rid of absolutely all of it. They would have to keep some of it somewhere.
I think we know the recipe.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Probably make it more potent
than that anyway.
Yeah, we have worse stuff.
You got
probably
more dangerous stuff than that anyway. Yeah, you got ricin, you got chlorine gas. There's far more dangerous.
We dealt with chlorine overseas. That was not fun.
Chlorine gas is bad.
They hit us. It was IEDs that were packed with pool shock.
Yeah.
That one was interesting.
Hey, I tell you what though, them guys come up with some crazy stuff, don't they?
I tell people all the time, I don't really dislike them, nowadays. I think they're crafty, honestly. They were fighting a fucking tier 1 enemy, and they were in sandals, the Shane Gillis thing. Like, they're fucking fighting us in sandals, using kitchen sink shit, and they're fucking us up. Like, you gotta give them some credit. That's impressive.
Bunch of damn MacGyvers over there.
Just like Vietnam with the NVA. You gotta give them some credit. They had the terrain in their advantage. They were jungle, trained from childhood. But, dude, the things that they come up with, you're just like, oh, shit. Over in Iraq, the IEDs. You take out a fucking Abrams with shit from your house. That's impressive.
That's pretty wild.
It's impressive. I always tell people about when we first encountered, they used to blow houses up on us. So, there's IED, VB IED, the vehicle borne. Well, we had H bids. They would rig up the whole building, and they'd let us clear it, and once we went in, they'd blow the house. Very fucking crafty. And the way they would do it is they would take Christmas tree light strands, and they would remove the bulbs. So your contacts were open, and they would line the bottom of a carpet with a Christmas tree strand, and when you would go to clear the house, you would step on that carpet, and that would make the contact. So they would put that carpet, and not in, the doorway. They'd put it, living room to kitchen. So at least 2 or 3 of you were in there. Fucking gotta give them credit. That's fucking crafty.
Yeah. Man.
And it's just something you can't see. You look in a window just to check, and all you see is a rug.
Yep.
All right. Nothing there. But that caused us to just start J-damming buildings. We would look in and be like, I see a wire, and we'd back off and J-dam the whole building. Clear.
So, for some of our watchers that are not military, explain what J-dam.
A J-dam, we used to call it the telephone pole from space. It's just a giant, usually it's I believe plane-borne. But I think the MLRS also can shoot them, which is the multiple launch rocket system. Basically, when you can't really see because how fast it is, but if you do get a glimpse, it just looks like a telephone pole coming into the ground. And if you hit a building with one, the building's done. It's toast. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically what JDAM stands for. Obviously, the M is probably missile. But we used to,
It's jihad.
Jihad, demolition, something missile. Yeah, we, for a while we used a lot of them.
There's no explosive in it?
Oh, there is.
Oh.
Let me see, I'm pretty sure it might be... Joint Direct Attack Munition is a guided kit that turns an unguided bomb into a precision, so it is air. We used to call them in all the time. I was a medic, so I have nothing to do with that. That's like your forward observer guy. But they were awesome. We're talking also taking out almost no one for probably, what does a JDAM cost? Probably $1 million.
$1 million? Yeah. 15 million a piece or something crazy.
Actually, they're not terrible. So 2004, kind of when I was there, 21,000. That's affordable.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
They're way more than that now, probably.
Well, that was the lowest bidder, though. Remember?
Hey, as long as it blows up.
For the military, lowest bidder wins the contract.
I always tell people that because I remember growing up like, oh, it's mil spec, and I was like, awesome. Yeah. Then I got in. I was like, mil spec, and it's just like the most piece of shit fucking.
Yeah, it was the lowest guy.
Lowest bidder.
Yep.
Did they really follow the print? Maybe.
Yeah. Mil spec don't mean shit.
I'm used to tolerances of like half my hair. Their tolerance was like a couple, maybe, I don't know, half an inch. Fucking yeah. How much paint's on that? I don't know.
Yeah, the paint may have came from China. You never know that either.
It's like whenever I hear military-grade weapons. Oh, fuck.
Dude. Anytime I'm online shopping for something, and I'm not going to tell you what website, I don't promote them, but I do buy from them. And when it says military spec, I'm like, oh, I'm going to the next thing. Because you know what? That means garbage to me.
It's just like surgical stainless steel.
Yeah.
Anytime it says that, it's junk.
It's disposable stainless is what it is.
Yeah. They don't give you the specs of what stainless it is, then it's not worth it.
And that's that realm I work in now, where it's like I deal with, like, the new one we deal with is Cascadium, which is a super alloy that Blue Origin specifically made. I believe it was Blue Origin specifically made, but it's like absolutely ridiculous, and it's so expensive. Inconel, Monel, like all these crazy super alloys.
I've heard of that waspalloy or something.
What is our running joke? Oh fuck! It's something. It's like a joke about how it's just some engineer made up a name. I'll think about it. It's fucking. Because it's always like something ridiculous, and you go, well, what is this for? And it's like, oh, it's a bracket. But it's made out of this, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, that's $1,000 a square foot. You can make that out of aluminum.
Well, Jeff Bezos, man. He plans to populate the moon, huh?
Good. They got money, and you know what? I'm all for it. They help me. Like I said, I'm working on that SpaceX shit right now. I'm all for it. Go for it. Blow up more rockets.
Yeah, bring in the contracts for you, huh?
Because every rocket that blows up, I have to help replace the parts on the next one.
Job security.
And our biggest customer is Blue Origin, which is Bezos, and
yeah,
I don't even know what they've done. Like, honestly, I think they've launched a few. Compared to SpaceX, they've launched nothing. But 90%.
How that's going to work?
I haven't seen any reports that they've launched, but they have launched.
Right. I'm just saying, in comparison to SpaceX launches like every other day. It's either out of a place in California, I can't think of the name.
Well, you have
Air
Cape
Base,
Canaveral.
I want to say Vanderbilt, but it's not Vanderbilt. It's something else.
You have Cape Canaveral for, what is it?
NASA.
NASA was bought out. Yeah, that's Florida. That was NASA was bought out by I want to say Starlink, but it's not. SpaceX. Yeah. SpaceX bought NASA out off Cape Canaveral. That's where most of their launches are there. Texas, and then California has a place where they launch.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. It's right there in like Central California. It's where actually these guys, 805. When I went to their brewery, we were driving down to see my ex-wife's sister and her husband, who was a first sergeant. Not sponsored at all. He's a first sergeant, or he was on that base, and it's like the satellite, like U.S. military, like satellite launch base. What the hell it starts with a V.
Yeah, I'm about to look it up. It's bugging me.
It has to be. It can't be Fort, because Fort's Army, right?
Yep.
Vandenberg.
Is it?
Yep.
So I wonder how that's going to work with the like the moon and all that, because isn't there some kind of treaty or something where no one can like own a celestial body?
Probably.
So it's some type of space like thing to where.
You know how that works though? Trump won.
Yeah, yeah no, I know.
It's probably already ours. I did see that Google is
not the dark side. That's owned by the Nazis.
I did see that Google's already gonna. They agreed to actually rename the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America just for American users, and I'm like, good enough for me. I'll live in that.
Yeah. You said, what did you say? Vandenberg?
Vandenberg Air Force Base.
That's it. Vandenberg Space Force Base. It's Space Force now.
About an hour away from it is a small German city where it's like all the buildings look like.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
I don't know the name of the city. We used to go there for there's an ostrich.
Looks like you're in
zoo.
Europe.
Yeah, it's all the buildings are like wooden shingled and.
Dude, I wish they had a good German town around here.
I don't think we have anything like that. We have ghost towns. They're cool. The old, Gold Rush, they're sick. Like, you can go down the mines and shit. It's all scary. Using the same fucking wooden elevators.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see, though. Like I said, I'm super stoked because, Trump was like, we're going to put an American flag on Mars. And I was like, that's money. That's money in my pocket.
Yeah, how long does it take to get to Mars?
I have no idea. I mean, I guess it would all depend on how fast your aircraft moves.
I guess so.
And I don't want to say that it's exponential speed in space, but I want to say that achieving speed is fairly easy because there's no resistance.
Well,
yeah, but when you're going from small units to AUs, astronomical units, that's a large distance.
I mean, just watching the launches and you watch their speed, and you're just like, holy shit, they're at 16,000 kilometers an hour, and you're like, all right, I don't like metric. What is a kilometer?
So estimated travel. Estimated travel
I would assume
is
2
a
weeks.
range from 150 to 300 days.
Oh,
that's 5 to 10 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 months, but.
So I would assume our biggest problem with that, with a manned flight, would be the idea of your muscle and bone density loss from being in zero gravity.
Well, dude, you got those astronauts that stay in the space station for way longer than 5 to 10 months.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to.
You mean you mean the accident?
Yeah.
Oops.
They asked Elon to go rescue, or I wouldn't say rescue.
During that, I said the fucking most funny thing because SpaceX was like, "Yeah, we'll go get him," and they're like, and they all trying to held off on it. And I go, "Please, Lord, bless me one. I will go to church if you do this. Let Donald Trump fly that SpaceX rocket up to the space station to get those astronauts and come back because that would be the best thing ever. Because it would be so ridiculous." And he would probably fucking do it.
He'd ride in that.
Yeah, he would be like, "Yeah, we'll go. I'm the greatest."
I got this.
They wanted me to go to Mars or the space station. I'm the greatest commander.
Last I seen the projected way to get to Mars is to use your main rockets, and then they were working on an ion thruster to kind of help, because once you get up to a certain speed, you're going to continue to keep that speed.
Right, you can cut off your propulsion because you're just going to maintain.
Yeah. Well, you still need some because there is, I forget what, some type of resistance. It's not much in our solar system, but it's probably the gravity from the sun itself, trying to pull you back.
Yeah.
So you still need some, but it's not a lot. So they were going to use ion thrusters to kind of counteract that and keep up.
Wouldn't the biggest problem also be okay, you get there, how are you getting back? So you would also need fuel to turn around and do the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
you'd be screwed.
I feel like they're going to have to build a space station around Mars with boosters, and then they're going to basically do a booster exchange to come back.
Well, Mars doesn't have that much gravity. I think it's a fifth of Earth's, so it wouldn't take a lot to take back off of Mars. I forget the calculations, but it wouldn't take near as much fuel as it is for Earth. Plus, you don't have an atmosphere, so you don't have the resistance of the air either. So you could actually land, and if you had enough fuel, you could take back off. I'm wondering if they're maybe going to find a fuel source on Mars, maybe somehow get something there to come back, or just bring enough fuel with them. Because the most fuel you're going to burn is probably your burn just getting out of our atmosphere. And then after that...
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Good.
I wonder when we're going to finally switch over to a nuclear-powered rocket. I think the disadvantage of that would be if it were to blow up, like they tend to do, in our atmosphere, could be a problem. But we also used to blow nukes up in the atmosphere just to see what would happen, so...
Well, the Tsar Bomba actually went. The explosion went to the highest, which I'm wanting to say it went up into the ionosphere, and they were worried that that would cause a cascade effect, but some reason it didn't. I think it's because the radiation from it dissipated so quickly, like the cascade effect from the radiation itself caused the radiation to like just almost immediately use itself up.
It's because we're encapsulated by a giant glass bubble.
Yeah. Well, there's also that theory that there's something around Earth that if you go outside of it, life it just can't be supported. I forgot what that's called. It's like it's a fringe.
I would say like a fringe theory.
It's called. Yeah.
Which it's not really fringe because it's true for us. You can't go outside the atmosphere and take your helmet off.
But yeah. But they're saying that once you get to a certain point, it's like, I don't know, and you never know. I mean, we humans have been on this planet. We're used to we're used to the gravity. We're used to the magnetic field of Earth. You know, so who knows what's going to happen if you get outside that.
Yeah, you better bring your bow flicks.
I'm all stoked about though. I mean, everyone
Not
like
sponsored, by the way.
Everyone talks shit about all these fucking super rich billionaires doing this and how they're polluting shit and they're wasting money. Oh, you could solve blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, how do you think innovation happens? It takes rich billionaires to do it. Because you know what? NASA's been at the helm for years and have done nothing. Oh, you've launched satellites into our orbit? Congratulations. That's boring. What's next? Oh, you've been to the moon once? Maybe. Unknown.
Yeah.
Maybe. We don't know.
I can kind of understand where they're coming from because we got so many problems here. They kind of want to fix, kind of like the, USA first type of thing. You want to fix, your country
well, sure.
type of thing before you try and take off to another planet. So I can kind of understand that, but you still need innovation.
I think in general, I would call it the new age space race. It's like the new Cold War, except we're trying to out advance each other in space. It's going to bring so much technology, and I think there's so many more benefits than negatives. 100%.
What do y'all think about this new?
Oh, go ahead.
What do you think about that new finding? They're trying to say that there's water on the moon.
I mean, is it not plausible? What is water? H2O, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's everywhere.
I thought they found like
ice,
solidified O3 or something on there at one point.
I'm
I
not
remember
sure.
hearing years ago they found something like that they were going to use as a fuel source. But
There was something recent that they said they found.
I mean, years ago, I heard this years ago. There was like a crystalline O3 or something on the surface of the moon. They were talking about like harvesting. You remember that movie Moon? It's called Moon.
very original.
Huh?
Very original movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to
It
look
had
that one
Sam
up.
Rockwell.
I don't remember it. Nah.
If you haven't watched it, it's a very good movie. But it had Sam Rockwell in it. And he was like on the moon, like harvesting whatever it was. I can't think of the
2009.
Yeah, it's old, but it's good.
Here you go.
That's not. I've seen it way older.
Just for you, Dave.
Uh-oh.
NASA has discovered water on the sunlit surface of the moon. Scientists said Monday. Finding
Like
that could
last
help.
Monday?
Unfortunately,
that's what it says.
DuhZeez patented
A
it. and
finding that could help.
Yeah, already.
in efforts.
Nestle already owns the rights. I think Nestle is the biggest water right owner in the world or something? Nestle has already bought out the moon.
Somebody said all you had to do was say there was oil on the moon. The U.S. would have already been there.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's honestly the only reason I believe that they're trying. I mean, outside of the innovation thing, the only reason we're trying to get anywhere, Mars, the moon,
That's because they want to try
India
to
or
drill.
China, India and China try to land on an asteroid or did. They're just looking for minerals.
Yep, our drill. They're gonna drill.
Well, because cobalt's dangerous, they want to find some source of cobalt that's not. You don't need 6-year-olds going down in mines to get So,
You know,
good for them.
my curiosity would be like, all right, in the machining world, our biggest problem is vibration. Vibration causes inaccuracy. Could you imagine a fucking zero gravity machine shop in fucking orbit? All your parts would be dead on. Your precision would be insane. Just harvest it from a fucking asteroid, bring it back to your little fucking machine shop, space station.
These Parkinson's-ridden MFers down here trying to make stuff.
Oh, you're telling me. My dad's on night shift. I call them the dead crew. It's all old men that are basically half dead. We'll see. Like I said, I'm pretty stoked about it. Not only because I work in that industry to make them stuff. Like I don't think I have anything to do with it, but I make the parts that go on it. I don't make anything crazy critical. I don't make fucking engine parts or like, I guess we do, but nothing super critical. I do enjoy. I really don't. Like I said, that thing I showed you is called a fitting. To what, I have no idea. But job security for me. So if we want to start exploring more space shit, those pockets are so deep, it's insane. You know, I think the last one we landed was like a $5 million contract. It's crazy.
Hey.
Dang. I was thinking about a long time ago. It's kind of a stupid idea, but I was thinking about like if it's a liquid fueled rocket, if there was a way you could spin the fuel in the rocket to create like centrifugal force, it would help with the liftoff because less weight would be, downward.
Yeah, I mean possibly.
But it would be hard to implement. You'd have to have something spin because a lot of times they use liquid hydrogen, and that stuff's like negative 465 degrees. It'd be rough to spin that, I imagine.
I used to be adventurous, and now that I've lived a while, I used to be like, I'd love to go to the deep sea, or I'd love to go to space, and now I'm like, all of that is very dangerous. Like I don't want to be in any of those fucking things.
Yeah.
You know, like even what is it, Virgin Galactic that does the like billionaire fucking shoots up into like the first layer of fucking space. I'm good. That seems like there's so many possible bad outcomes.
Dave, you didn't want to go see the Titanic?
No, I have. I there's videos.
Been on that
I've
sub.
seen it.
You can finally find that guy she kicked off that.
Oh my God, it's Jack! You son of a bitch!
Why has he got both middle fingers up?
Well preserved.
He has that gem in his hand for some reason, but he's been dead for years. Yeah, no, that whole submarine thing, it's sad for... The only thing that's sad about it is that one kid that didn't want to go. And his rich dad was like, it's your birthday, or whatever the reason was, and made him go. Like, fuck. Once again, he didn't feel a fucking thing. That was so fast.
Yeah, at least they died quick.
Yeah.
But you don't take an epoxy resin-made vehicle that far down in the sea under those pressures, because one little tiny bubble, right, it'll collapse under those pressures, and then when it re-expands,
right.
So that's probably why it went down fine once and then came
right.
back
All their testing was fine, but now you've introduced issue.
Yeah, because that little bubble will collapse, create fractures, and then when you come back up, it expands back again, and then the damage is done. You don't know it until you go back down.
That whole private industry of that reminds me of the flat Earth guy that built his own rocket, and it's just like, what are you doing? You can't do that. And don't get me wrong, I used to want to be a marine biologist. You saw my fish tank over here.
Oh yeah.
They're all asleep right now. I love that shit. I would love to go deep sea exploring. I watch the Nautilus EV live feeds when they do like deep sea submersible exploration. Like it's all unmanned, but like it's like watching exploration, and they find new species live, and they have all these scientists on this panel, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's a jellyfish. I've never seen that." And they call other fucking scientists that are specialized in whatever species they see, and they live feed it to them. It's wild. I would love to do that. I will never go down in a deep sea submersible. I don't care how fucking good it is.
You ain't giving me the bins.
I can't even watch like my big thing was like caving like movies. I can't watch them because I get like fucking scared. Oh my god!
Hey, you remember when that what was it soccer team they got stranded?
They were in a cave, like, right? Yeah,
and they had a rainfall and it flooded. Man, they had like special divers.
Yep.
One in particular did not make it to try to save these kids, but there's no way.
I couldn't be trapped either. I'd start eating you before we needed to. We're fucking.
What the hell happened to my leg?
We're starving. Sorry, brother.
Oh man,
you are the weakest link.
But you taste great,
dude. It's been 6 hours. I know. I understand what you're saying, but you are the smallest guy here.
Yeah, the Pacific Ocean is like, there's so many things that haven't been found.
Right.
Just in, because it's so huge. The megalodon is still there somewhere.
Possibly.
It's gotta be.
I'm saying that the Nautilus thing I watch, like they always do like Marianas Trench stuff, or they like to go like the Fiji area and they do like the lava mounds. And like, dude, it's crazy because like half the show is them just cruising around, seeing nothing, just dirt. But then they'll find like like the hot vent, and it's just like all these fish and crabs, and it's like we're at fucking ridiculously deep, like 9,000 feet. Like, what the fuck? I love that shit.
Yeah, watching it.
Too.
Well, it's crazy because it's live. Like, no one's ever seen it. You're also seeing it with these scientists, and they're just walking you through. Like, all right, well, that's a exocytis. And you're like, all right, I'm dumb. What does that mean? It's a jellyfish. And you're like, all right, thank you. All right. It's a jellyfish.
Yeah. Let's not use a scientific name.
Yeah. Listen, I don't speak Latin, okay?
The power of jellyfish compels you.
I wonder whatever happened, because for a while there, speaking of jellyfish, there was like a jellyfish invasion. And then that was like a huge thing for a couple of years, and I haven't heard about it since. And they were blaming it on the global warming issue and all that, like, because jellyfish will just mass produce. They love warm water. And they were everywhere. When I lived in Oregon, Washington, and California, they were always on the coast. Haven't heard shit. I wonder where they all went.
That red
tide.
Yeah.
Well, you guys get that down there, right? I mean, Louisiana is a coastal state, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Gulf of America now.
Gulf of yeah, you guys touched the Gulf of America.
Our coast is protected by a wall of chemicals, so there's no way a red tide can get to it.
God bless BP. God bless BP.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly. We have the biggest oceanic dead zone in the entire world right at our fingertips.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, no, the red tides don't touch us because there's not enough oxygen in the water for the red tides to propagate.
It kills them.
No, but
you have to go out like so many miles to even catch something.
I tell you, I used to work offshore, so if you go so many miles out, there are pretty blue waters in the Gulf of Mexico. But so when the Mississippi River comes out to the Gulf, it creates like this muddy looking water, and like I know when I flew over, going to like being dispatched, you can see the actual line of the mud in the water, and it was like it's like it doesn't move into the blue. I don't know how to explain it, but I mean you've seen it on some of those signs.
I wonder if it, maybe the salinity line, like, all right, the salinity is so much more heavy, it just stops it.
Yeah, it doesn't mix. So, but there's actual pretty water.
Mix with the salinity.
Yeah.
See, all the farmers and stuff, all the runoff from the farmers and stuff goes through the Mississippi. So it's no telling what all chemicals are in that thing too.
Nothing
They try and
bad.
blame it on the syrup,
Nothing bad.
but- Oh, I'm
No,
sure it's
man.
good,
A little bit of PFAS, I believe it's called. A little bit of that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's probably still got DDT in it.
Phew. No, man.
Yeah,
You can swim in there. It's okay.
Yeah, if you like flesh-eating viruses.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
bacteria.
that's something that we never had to deal with when we were younger, is that flesh-eating bacteria. Now it's like warmer waters.
Yep.
That's something you got to watch out for now.
Dude, even when I worked at a hospital when I was up in Oregon, OHSU, and one of the patients went on a tubing trip. I forgot what river it was. It was off the Columbia, but she got cut on a rock and ended up with one of those. And she lost all of her fucking fingertips, all of her toes, and like one of her feet from a flesh-eating bacteria. And it was I had to help like move her and like roll her for the ER and all that. And like she was a champion. But, like, it was insane because she didn't have any more digits anywhere.
Hey,
It's like one of my.
And all she did was go on a tubing trip on the weekend with her friends and got cut. I was like, holy shit.
that's
That's why I don't do nothing, because that sounds like my luck.
Huh.
Like, I'm,
Well, don't come to Arizona. Our water is roughly... If you were to go Salt River tubing in the summer, the water's probably 85. It's like a jacuzzi out here.
Y'all have flesh bacteria or flesh-eating bacteria over there?
Probably. I think the biggest killer on the Salt River is just drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that down here too.
stops the bacteria.
They even got, surprisingly, our sheriff's department, their rescue team on the river, they have like 3 fan boats, which I'm like, that is so fucking cool. I would love to be on one of those.
Pick some up from over here, huh?
A little bit. It makes sense. You know, they're shallow. Our river is like fucking between 1 and 3 foot is our river.
So, that's not very deep, huh?
Nope.
Nah. Well, if y'all fellas don't have any more, we can bring this to a close with 2 hours, 2 minutes.
It's pretty long. We got our conspiracies out.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I enjoyed being on with DuhZeez, you know, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to meet you.
So for
I am
anybody-
going to talk to Jim. We gotta figure out the whole UFO UAP discussion.
Yeah, we need to get him on here because let's see, I plan to get him on here, and then for our episode 10, that's going to be our special for anybody watching, and I'm going to try to get DuhZeez, Dave, myself, and Jim all on at the same time, and possibly Barker, depending on his schedule. But yeah, that's going to be our special is episode 10, so
Absolutely.
stay tuned.
I'll talk to him tomorrow about it. We'll figure it out probably.
No. So need to get him on here, either yourself and him solo or him solo before episode 10. That way I've had each one of you on the episode, you know, have y'all had your own episode up until episode 10. So
Like I said, I'll talk to him tomorrow. We're going out to an adult board game night, which just basically means we're gonna get fucking drunk tomorrow. So
gotcha.
Oh, it's strip D&D.
Ah,
I don't know what we're playing. I was gonna bring some board games, but I think I don't want to deal with having to make sure I bring them home. So you know, that's a
Missing
task.
all the dice.
But absolutely, I had fun. I enjoyed talking with you guys once again.
all right. Well, we'll go ahead and close it. So, thank you for watching BSing with Y Eagle Y, and stay tuned for the next episode.